What's up guys, Arron here from Denny Collins Fitness. As always, just trying to put out a bit of value, help provide a bit of content, especially after a bank holiday weekend. So this might help you out if you are one of those people that's after coming back after the bank holiday weekend and you have all the symptoms of a food coma, an alcohol hangover and sugar withdrawals. This video might help you out, okay? So guys, I'm going to get into it nice and quick, the do's and don'ts, and then we can go about your day. I'll try be quick, I promise. So guys, the first thing, if you're in a heap after the big weekend, number one thing, and I don't mean to be bad, is you have to own it, okay? If you're somebody that's after overshooting your calories, you had all the rubbish, you had your takeaways, your pizzas, you have to own it is number one. Don't pretend like it didn't happen, okay? If you choose the action, you choose the consequence. I'm sorry to sound harsh, but you have to acknowledge it is what it is, okay? Number two is don't let it become a bad week. Do not use one weekend as an excuse to say, well, feck it, I might as well just take the week off now, and sure, there's no point training, there's no point going back dieting, there's no point in anything. Scrap that mentality, guys, okay? So number two is don't let one bad weekend become one bad week, okay? Because you're just doubling the workload on yourself. And again, the classic analogy, that's like having one punctured tire in your car and hopping out and puncturing every single one of them for no reason, only other than you're emotional at the time, okay? Don't let that happen either, okay? Number three is try not to fix, okay, or try not to severely restrict yourself after a big weekend, okay? I've done this, I'm guilty of this, is when you have one bad day or one bad weekend, you go, that's it now, I'm going to cut calories, I'm cutting carbs, I'm going to train 2 times a day, I'm going to do XYZ, and stop all that, okay? Don't do any of that, guys. Don't do a severe restriction or try to fix anything. It will just, I guarantee you, it will leave you more anxious, it will leave you more insecure, more paranoid about the scales, and it will mess your relationship with food up, okay? It will just make your life miserable, and you don't need that, okay? And the final little tip, the fourth tip, you've no guilt, okay? Stop it. You've one life, okay? Life is too short to be dieting 24/7, 365, from cradle to the grave, okay? Guilt-free, guys. Is one weekend out of your entire life, okay, really going to make that much of a difference, okay, in your goals and physique? Not really, okay? So I always like to get those out of the way first. Please keep those in mind. Own it. Don't let it become a bad week. Don't try to fix. And you've one life, okay? So keep those 4 things in mind. Now, the fixing it, okay, the do's. So they were all the don'ts. So here are the do's. And this is going to be a big letdown, guys. Just get right back to what you were doing normally, okay? Don't try fix your calories. Don't try ramp up training intensity all of a sudden. Don't try, okay, I'm going to add in a 5k run every week. Nope, okay? Go back to doing exactly what you were doing. Go back to the same calorie count you were on. Go back to the same training schedule and just let your body regulate itself, okay? 2 tips is you are usually only one workout away from being back into the swing of things, or you're usually one meal away from being back on track, okay? We've all been there when it's the weekend and you have a full Irish breakfast and then you go, oh well, feck it, I'll just have a takeaway lunch, and then, sure, I'll just have a few bickies in the evening, and it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. You're only one meal away from being back on track. So try get a good healthy dinner in there, have a good bit of veg, a salad, a stir fry, something healthy, and it usually just kind of snowballs and you kind of remember, yeah, it's actually nice to feel good again, and it's nice to have good digestion, good energy, and avoiding the peaks and valleys. So you're only one workout or one meal away from being back to where you were, guys, okay? The next tip is focus on your progress instead of being perfect, guys. So there is no such thing as perfection when it comes to nutrition and diet, okay? So if you're somebody that thinks you have to be absolutely golden all year round, 24/7, 365, no takeaways, no chocolate, no sweets, no treats, no life, no holidays, no anything, scrap that mentality, guys, okay? Perfectionism stops your progress, okay? So focus on the consistency of what you're doing, okay, instead of the intensity of what you're doing, okay? like one simple analogy, in a 52-week year, okay, so that's 52 weekends, the one you've just had, okay, so one weekend, will that really derail every other weekend? Another 51 opportunities to make it right, okay? So try to keep that in mind, guys. Focus on consistency instead of intensity, and focus on progress instead of perfection, okay? Having a good weekend of good food, good drinks with your family does not make you a bad person. You might be slightly heavier on the scales for a few days, just down to carbs and extra water weight, but if you just get back on track to what you were doing, same calorie count, same training schedule, get back on track with your workouts, you're one workout away from feeling good again, get back on track with your nutrition, you're one meal away from being back on track, and just focus on progress instead of perfection, focus on consistency instead of intensity, and the overall message, guys, is chill out. Okay, you enjoyed the weekend, great, just get back on track now. Guilt free, you're well fueled for training, get back on track doing what you were doing. I really hope it helps. Let me know your thoughts below, let me know what you think.